Entry 1, fear. Fear is something that stops a lot of people from achieving their dreams. Fear is a survival instinct, but also a stopping point. Many people don't act because they fear. They fear loss, embarrassment, which is a kind of loss, but nonetheless, they fear. People don't try to achieve their dreams because they fear failure. It is hard to overcome fear. Many people make it their lives to overcome certain fears. People try to be brave but can't manage to do it successfully. In my life, fear was a big issue which I tried really hard to fix, and I've tried for the longest time to completely remove from me. It is impossible, no matter how hard I try, how hard anyone tries, fear stays. It persists, doesn't go away. It may get weaker, you may not react to it as much, but fear stays. Approaching a lot of people to try to overcome your social anxiety helps, but the fear remains. You become less susceptible to it, but it is there regardless. Many people fear risk. They think that them working a decent job is better than risking everything to achieve a way greater life, because it's not guaranteed. People fear that which is not a guarantee. That is why people stay stuck working dead end jobs, not making much of their lives. I fear fear. That is my biggest fear. When people have to act on something, when people are afraid to act on something, I get frustrated. I think, what would I do if I were them? Fear drives people mad. People do things that they wouldn't usually do because they fear rejection or something else. People struggle with peer pressure. That is a form of fear. People fear being rejected by their peers, so they act in ways they shouldn't. Act in ways that aren't very sophisticated. An example of this is, let's say your friends want to go drinking. It's not bad per se, but it entails risk. Risk which is lesser than you being rejected by your peers. Even if they probably wouldn't reject you, you probably wouldn't experience being left out, you fear regardless. You fear being left out. That's why you go out drinking. And that isn't the main reason. People fear a lot of things. People use drinking as an escape from fear because people find it freeing. But it is fear regardless. Many things we do out of fear. We work because we fear death. We fear starvation. We fear not being able to provide for ourselves, our families. We fear that. We fear loss of comfortability. That is why we don't strive for comfortability. We strive for, well, we do strive for comfortability, but greater comfortability comes from greater risk. Many people joke about, oh, I should have bought a home when I was 2 years old in 2008. Although that is true, you could have bought a home and gotten richer. Those same opportunities arise all the time. People are just scared to realize them. People in 2008 were adults and fought the same things, probably. Some other financial crises happened, some other opportunities appeared, they didn't take them. They complained about it in 2008, probably, when they were missing the greatest opportunity. What I think is fear stops people. While you may never remove fear from your body, from your soul, you can at least mitigate it. You can lessen your fear. You want to do something, do it. Why fear rejection? What is the purpose? Sure, there's a girl you like, right? Ask her out. What's the worst that can happen? Sure, the worst that can happen is probably her calling the cops, getting you arrested, but that is not realistic. Nobody acts in that way. Think of what you would do if someone would approach you. Even if you don't like them, you would probably let them down easy. You wouldn't go out of your way to ruin their day. You shouldn't fear rejection. I think people should strive to get rejected. Use that rejection as a motivation. Get motivated by it. I struggle way less with anxiety, social anxiety, because I've trained myself. I've went out of my way to do more, to approach people I don't know, to say stuff that normal people usually wouldn't say because it's stupid or embarrassing. I've went out of my way to get embarrassed, to experience that fear. I think most people should try this out. Why? To train. By avoiding your fears, they'll only get worse. I think we shouldn't dodge our fears. We shouldn't dodge rejection. We should chase it, as I said. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's as simple as that. Although there are some fears that when I struggle with, I can understand why people struggle with social anxiety and other things because it is relatable. I've tried learning a backflip for a while. The fear of turning around backwards in the air without seeing the ground, seeing where you land, is terrifying. I can do it on a trampoline easily. I can maybe do it on the ground. Could manage to. I can do it, but it is my fear that is stopping me. It's terrifying. Honestly, something that just drives you insane. You can do it. You're just too afraid. People say learning a backflip is 10% skill and 90% bravery, 90% balls. I agree. It is that 10% is pretty sufficient. It's pretty substantial, I meant, but it doesn't compare to the 90% of fear. Because it's so hard to train. How can you train something if you're too afraid to do it? With training, with weight training, you just keep lifting. Sure, maybe you can't lift the higher weights, but you can start at a lower point. But with a backflip, you fear turning around in the air backwards. People fear many things. And I fear stuff as well. I fear rejection too. I try to chase it. I try to be numb to it, but I still fear it regardless. I understand why people experience fears, but it is a major stopping factor. It is the main thing that is stopping us as a society from progressing. We fear loss. We fear rejection. People, for example, are afraid to upload content because they're afraid of getting rejected by their friends, by their family, by people they know. It is sad that often the people closest to us are the ones stopping us from chasing our dreams. Even if they support us, we may still feel that fear. We don't want to disappoint them. I think we should learn to accept mistakes. We should strive for the better, but think of mistakes as learning experiences. Every bad situation you get into, every rough happening in your life, everything that goes wrong, it's just another stepping stone. I think it just builds character. Sure, it might sound grim or no, well, it may sound stupid, unrealistic, but it is true. The hardship you experience, if you deal with it correctly, it'll train you. You will become better from it. I think my main point was throughout this whole talk that we should chase our fears. We should chase the rejection. Ask that girl out. Do something stupid in public. Go approach some new people. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet some friends. Nobody knows. Invest. If you're young, especially, just invest money. You have nothing to lose. Whatever you lose, you'll gain it back in a bit. You're not an adult if you're young. Well, maybe you are an adult. Even a young adult can invest. You still have your whole life ahead of you. You still have things to lose in the future, but now is just the beginning. Invest. Chase your fears. Experiment. Shave your head bald. Whatever. Do whatever you want. Just don't be afraid of doing. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of other people's opinions. If you think that the embarrassment you experience is worse than what you'll experience by staying stagnant, not doing anything, I've got bad news for you. Stagnation, remaining in the same place, is way worse than someone saying, "Oh, you're a loser." You may be a loser for that few seconds, but people forget. Opinions fade. Nobody will remember that. Even if they do, who gives a shit? If you achieve something, if you just keep going at it, you'll eventually push through. And that is entry 1, fear.